Hello everyone, welcome back to another Friday, another casual champion review. I am not gonna have fun today. I'm buying Doran's Shield. Um, I'm playing Kassadin today. And not only is the matchup not that great, but post editing, boy, could you bring up the loading screen, please? Yeah, I love having a high level account, despite not being very good at the game because I play primarily normal games. I don't play ranked, so I love that Riot Games punishes me for not buying a Smurf account. That is awesome. Thank you, Riot Games. And I already know it's not going to be fun because I'm fighting Akshan. In fact, their whole team is AD, as I'm Kassadin, the champion famously known for being an anti-mage. So this is going to be horrible. You know what isn't horrible, though? Fan art section. There's not very much. At the time of recording this, there's one. Maybe there'll be more by the time I get to it. But thank you for the few fellas who do it, who do stick around. You're awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to commentate on this, considering I'm going to be fighting for my life out here. Because, I don't really have any way to stop Akshad from doing what he does, so I just kind of have to accept the punishment. So Kassadin was once a traveling merchant, traversing through Shurima, exploring ancient ruins and hunting for mysterious artifacts. And he found many of them. In fact, he's the one who found the second Gauntlet of Nezuko. Technically, it's the Gauntlet of Horak or Horik or whatever it is. But Ezreal's Gauntlet, there should be two of them. And Kassadin has one of them because he found it for a client and sold it to them. Because he didn't dare steal it because Kassadin not a thief. Not yet. Because this, he would make his clients exceedingly wealthy, and he went from just some random stray going about trying to do dirty work to an actually highly respected person that would go on these crazy adventures to grab these magical artifacts. But on one of his journeys when he was traveling to Piltover, while he was there, he was approached by a survivor from the desert claiming that his city had been swallowed by some magical force, and they were the only survivors. And Kassadin, fearing for his family's life, decided, okay, I gotta go back. I gotta go make sure. Oh, I gotta go make sure Kaisa and my wife are okay. So he hurried home ahead of his comrades, trying to make sure that his family was okay. But he arrived there to find he was too late. His entire city had been swallowed up, reduced to ash and rubble. Wallowing in grief, he didn't really know what to do except mourn the loss of his family. But he caught word of a mystical prophet, a entity that was deranged and sacrificing mortals to the horrors below. And Kassadin knew the stories. He'd been around Stream a lot. He knew about Acathia and about how it had been swallowed by a magical power known as the Void. And he connected the dots. He realized this prophet was summoning the Void, sacrificing mortals to it. It's his fault. He did it, 100%. No questions asked. He summoned the Void and destroyed his whole village and killed his daughter and wife. And so now Kassadin, steadfast, decides, I need to get vengeance. I need to kill this man who killed my wife and daughter and my whole village. Not even just that, he uses magical artifacts, goes to Zon to get a bit of Chemtech or some kind of Zonite augmentation, and even goes to Ionia somehow to get some spirit magic on his side. And of course, his main weapon, the Gauntlet of Horak or however you call it. The other gauntlet that Nezuko probably stole from some guy. Ow! So now he's armed, ready to go find Acathia, find Malzahar, and get his vengeance, even if it kills him, which it slowly is. The artifacts and the void corruption are slowly killing him. And he has been left to rot there ever since. He has appeared in basically nothing, which is bizarre considering they added his daughter to the game. You would have thought he would have gotten a big lore update from that, but he barely even has any interaction with her at all because he doesn't even know that she's alive, nor does she know, or she even remember her own father, which does add some interesting ideas for storytelling that you see these two different void-tainted people trying to stop it. You would have thought, oh, they probably would have teamed up or something. And it might have been kind of cool because Kassadin's looking for his daughter and Kaisa's just trying to survive. That would have been kind of cool to have them team up, though each of them not knowing they're actually fighting alongside their own family. And that whole idea as well, what I think would be a lot cooler if Kassadin's design looked any better than it currently does. Because to me, if Kassadin was actually visually and even personality was properly being corrupted by the void, it would make for much more interesting storytelling of Kaisa trying to connect to her father that's kind of become everything that she hates, and he's becoming everything that he hates. As it currently stands, though, Kassadin is not exactly brimming with originality in his design. A lot of people have made comparisons to Cthulhu or any kind of eldritch machination, but to me, he's Darth Vader. In most avenues, he's got the funky breathing apparatus, which are they take up a lot of his voice lines that they added in there. He has this big, goofy, ridiculous-looking helmet. He's got a lightsaber-esque weapon. I'm kind of surprised that when Kaisa came out, they didn't give him a "I am your father" voice line, because that just seems obvious. Kassadin's also another great example of a character that has needless sex appeal. For some reason, he's shirtless. I don't know why. It completely goes against who he is as a character, though. I think it was because it was done in his pre-lore before they did the update and connected him more to Malzahar, because before he just was corrupted by the Void while he was in his normal gear. That's what pre-Void Kassadin is what he looked like the moment before he got corrupted by the Void. Whereas nowadays, it's less of an instantaneous corruption and more of a slow, methodical one. Like, he's losing his humanity bit by bit. That's why his skin's blue and he's kind of Void-like, though this current iteration of Kassadin doesn't really give that off super well. One thing I wish they did is to make him look more monstrous, because the idea is that he is slowly being corrupted by the Void over time. I think it would be awesome if his armor started melding into him. Like, these magical artifacts in a last-ditch effort to try and save his body are trying to overtake the Void corruption that is happening to him. Because as of right now, it just looks like some blue guy, again, wearing a bootleg Darth Vader cosplay. And the Wild Rift version did a much better job, I think. It's certainly better than the League version, where it tried a bit harder to lean into actual Void aesthetics, remove the random shirtlessness, and give him almost bio armor looking type stuff. His helmet was made to look a bit less goofy. He doesn't have as many tubes. They also gave him his legs back, which is nice, because he was designed at a time where it was just, well, we have the option to not include his legs, so why don't we? We'll save on animation budget. I love that if you zoom in on the gauntlet, you get to see just the tiniest hints of gold, reminiscent to how it was like Ezreal's gauntlet. It was a golden gauntlet once, but the Void corruption is slowly tainting even the artifacts. And I like that. It adds a little bit of visual storytelling. So why is this little bit of artifacts in gold when all the rest of them is purple? So I never noticed, like, why does he have so many? I mean, I have Fleet, but, like, I got this spinning thing around me. I got Fleet underneath me. I got this red thing. I got these stars. I got this trailing thing. Like, how many particle effects does one character need? I don't know. I feel like I'm drawing a blank on Kassadin because he's just not that interesting. I'm also just not having fun in general. This character already, I just don't find any fun at all. And then I have to lane against a person who is miles above better than me in League of Legends, and on a champion that I can't really do anything to stop. Anti-mage character fighting a long-range AD character. Yeah, I'm toast. I think another reason why Kassadin just isn't very fun for me is because normally I do like these scaling champions. Like, I enjoy playing Nasus on occasion. I like Veigar. I'll go around to Smolder now they nerfed him into the ground. I like the idea of these characters that build up power over time. The difference there is that Kassadin doesn't have to earn that. See, it doesn't matter. I may be 1-4, but my team has 24 kills. And you know what's stupid? Is I can play like garbage, but give me 3 items and I win the game. Give me a level 16 and I win the game, because Kassadin don't gotta earn squat. If you're playing Veigar or Nasus or Smolder or any of these other stacking champions, you have to build that over time. There's a very clear difference between a Smolder and a Kassadin in that instance, where it's like, well, you didn't stack enough, so you don't get the main benefit. So even though you're a late game character, you don't have the late game effect because you didn't stack properly. With Kassadin, it's just like, it just happens automatically. Congratulations. The champion's entire gimmick is that I have flash for an ult, which would be unique if Ahri didn't do that as well. And Ahri is a much more interesting character with a more interesting gameplay pattern and has more to her besides the fact that, yeah, I teleport a whole lot. I feel like that's just the niche that Kassadin's carved out for himself. I remember that they changed something about his gameplay in Wild Rift, but I don't remember what. I don't know. I guess with some other champions that I just don't like playing, like even Kalista, which I rambled about how much I dislike. Though I gave her a gameplay score, I think like of a 7? Or an 8? I don't remember what. Or no, it was Gragas that gave a high gameplay score. Already just like, you shouldn't really take any of those end scores seriously. Like, I usually come up with them as I'm editing the videos and like my final thoughts, so they don't really matter too much. So don't take them too much to heart. But usually for how I score the champion's gameplay at the end is, even if I don't like playing them, even if I don't like playing them, I'll give a champion like Gragas a high gameplay score because it perfectly encapsulates who he is as a character. As much as I wish that he could be something more, he absolutely perfectly encapsulates the essence of a drunk, bumbling oaf who just throws his beer and his weight around. Like, that gameplay is captured perfectly, even if I don't understand too much. Or like Kalista, I don't like playing her, but it is at least a very unique playstyle that you don't really have much else in League. There's really another character like Kalista. With Kassadin, like I said, this flashing thing, the fact that I just have flash on a low cooldown, that's my gimmick. Everything else is like a tiny little skill shot, a little stab that's basically just a sheen proc. I guess the wave thing used to be interesting before it had a flat cooldown. It used to be that you had to use, your team and opponents had to use 7 spells or something like that. And every time they use 7 spells, then you could use the ability. But now it has a flat cooldown as well, which kind of, to me, removes one of the more interesting gimmicks from him, though makes him a bit more consistent. It's like an anti-mage, kind of, in the magic that he has a magic shield, which is like, that's such a superfluous way to make an anti-mage. And why would he be an anti-mage? I guess the void is somewhat magical. Oh, we're on the board, baby. We're on the board, baby. I'm doing it. I'm becoming late game Kassadin. Can you tell how excited I am? As for skins, Kassadin is also lacking that department as well. But when you try to make your character a bootleg Darth Vader, what much else can you do? I don't, if I can recall any of Kassadin's good skins. I mean, is Cosmic best by default? That's the one all the racist people use. Yeah, I'm trying to like recollect on anything. I mean, he has like the Shockblade one's fine. He recently got Dragomancer, which is just so boring and lame, but most of the Dragomancers are. I will get on the board. I'm on the board, baby. I'm on the board. I don't know what else to say about Kassadin, man. Like, some of these champions, I think I'm going to have nothing to say about them. Like Karthus, I end up talking about him for like 20 minutes, but Kassadin, I genuinely do not know what else to say about him because he's just so vanilla. Not even in an upsetting kind of way like Corki or Kaisa or Cho'Gath, characters that like really could use big improvements. It's just Kassadin's so nothing to me. I would have liked if at least they poured over the Wild Rift model. Like, at least that is an improvement. I don't get why Riot keeps using the Wild Rift splash arts when they don't bring over the Wild Rift model. It doesn't make any sense. Like, at least Sivir is... Oh! At least Sivir is only slightly different in appearance. Kassadin and Hecarim are pretty wildly different in how they look. I don't get why they keep doing it, because some new player's going to click on Kassadin. Maybe they think that version of Kassadin's cool. They get in, they see him looking like how he does now. I imagine they're going to be pretty disappointed. I know I am. Get me on the board, baby. Get me on the freaking board. I'm late game. I earned this. Don't you see it? I've earned this power because I played the video game like everybody else does. Oh, thank God it's over. I'm so bored. I ended up going from, what, 1-4 to 7-5 somehow because I hit late game. God, I hate Kassadin. And next week I have to do Katarina. God damn it! Okay, well, I'll see you next week, everyone. Thank you for watching this Katarina Chat review. I'll see you next week for Katarina, okay? Goodbye.